What's up, guys? In today's video, I'll be going over one fighter that I will and one fighter that I won't miss from every UFC division. Before I get into it, I just want to say that I did get this video idea from Early Stoppage MMA. For those of you who don't know who that is, Early Stoppage is an MMA YouTuber who puts out about a video every other day on average. He's super active. He's put out 64 videos in the span of 4 months, and they're all great quality, so be sure to check him out. Early Stoppage, if you see this video and you want me to delete it, just let me know in the comments and I'll take it down. So, going into the video, there were 4 fighters that he mentioned that I would have had on my video, but in an effort to keep things original, I will include those 4 fighters, but whenever I get to those weight classes, I'll be sure to point them out. Starting off with flyweight, one fighter that I'll absolutely miss is Pantoja. Pantoja is the most underrated fighter in the UFC, I think. Definitely the most underrated champion. The guy is dominant, he's humble, he's an impressive fighter, he doesn't go to decision very often. I don't know how you can't like him. I mean, the guy finally got his flowers this year when he came in at 5th in the UFC's pound for pound list, despite being 9-0 against the guys in the top 10 of his own division. He's lapping his division. He's beat Moreno 3 times, Royval twice, beat Kakar France. The guy's just an absolute animal. Looking forward to seeing him face Joshua Van. Every fight of his is entertaining. His backstory's amazing. He's a super humble guy. He started fighting in order to make money for his mother and his little brother because their father left the family. I don't know how you can't like Pantoja. He's just a great guy all around. On the other hand, we've got Kakar France, who I'm sure he's a great guy, but he's just goofy, man. I mean, he found out he was like 4% Mori. I mean, according to me. Found out he was 4% Mori and then made his entire personality. Whenever he faced Pantoja this summer, after the first or second round, when he was just getting dominated, he knocked that stupid look off his face, and I was beyond amazed. It was great just to see Pantoja kind of humble this guy. I mean, no disrespect to Kakar France, but the only reason he got a title shot is because Pantoja lapped the division. The guy has no likable personality, and I couldn't care less who he fights next. Next up is Bantamweight, which is where things start to get a little complicated. Early Stoppage actually had Merab and Cejudo as his 2 picks, and those were my picks, actually. I mean, there's plenty of good to say about Merab and plenty to clown on Cejudo for, so my second pick would be Sandhagen as one fighter that I don't want to see leave, and then Cheeto Vera as one that I wouldn't mind seeing leave. Sandhagen, he's not afraid to fight anybody. I mean, he went in there against Merab. He got dominated, which was a little unfortunate to see as someone that does like Sandhagen, even though I like Merab more, but he's a dog. I mean, he went in there, did his thing, stood tall, tried to bang with Merab, pause. Wasn't afraid to fight him on the feet, on the ground. Got out of a bunch of takedowns, but he kept getting taken down, unfortunately. Has plenty of good fights. I'd love to see him fight O'Malley, maybe on the White House card or before then. And for Cheeto, this pick was, it's not that I dislike him, it's just that he's the guy that I like the second least. I mean, the only guy in Bantamweight that I really don't like is Cejudo. Cheeto, he's 1-4 in his last 5. I mean, he'll never have an exciting quote-unquote title run. I mean, there's no fighters that I want to see him go against. He has no real personality. He's just pretty bland as far as bantamweight goes. Next up at featherweight, I actually had another similar pick to Early Stoppage. One fighter that he didn't want to see lose or leave the UFC or lose was Volkanovski. Volk would actually be my pick as well, but like I said, in an effort to keep things different, I'll choose different fighters. So for this one, I have Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez is one of those guys who goes out there and tries to win in a finish every single time. I mean, even when he's down, he doesn't give up. Went to war with Volk, went to decision, was down against Silva, and then came back and knocked him out. I mean, he lays it all on the line whenever he fights, and I love to see it. Great guy. I mean, entertaining at the press conferences, like what the Coulon, like he's just a great fighter, entertaining on the mic. What's not to love? One fighter that I don't mind to see leave the UFC would be Evloev. Evloev is a great fighter. I mean, if you think he deserves a title shot, I understand. I don't necessarily think that he should go in front of Murphy, who's more active, but Evloev is he's one of those decision fighters, like one of those smudge grappler kind of guys. I mean, he's inactive. He fights like once a year on average. I mean, sometimes even less than that, but he's not. I don't think that he's pivotal to featherweight, and if he were to leave, I don't think any real change would be felt. At lightweight, I've got Max Holloway and Rafael Fiziev. I know that on the surface level, these picks look weird. I know everyone's favorite fighter in lightweight is Oliveira. I love Oliveira. He's a great fighter, great guy. Love to see him fight. Can't wait to see him fight Max Holloway, hopefully for the BMF belt. Entertaining guy all around, but I feel like that's kind of the cliche pick to have Oliveira, so I'm going with Holloway, who, with Islam Makhachev gone, Holloway is easily my second favorite lightweight fighter. I mean, never turns down a fight, goes to war, lovable dude. I mean, that's kind of a trend with a lot of these guys who are at the top or near the top in the UFC. They all seem like great people. They lay it all on the line. They have unique styles. I mean, Holloway's boxing is top tier. The only boxers in the UFC better than him might be Topuria, and if you were to say O'Malley, I would understand, but I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. But O'Malley and Topuria do have great boxing. As far as Fiziev goes, I have no issue with Fiziev. I wanted to include only fighters in the top 10, so the pool for lightweight is kind of, it's hard to find someone to dislike. I mean, even Chandler, who is he's a bit of a showman despite not being the best fighter, at least in terms of resume. I mean, Dariush is a little bland. Gamrot, he's a little bland as well. I have no issue with any of those guys. They don't have any real problems with them, so I just chose Fiziev because he seems the least personable in my opinion. I mean, I don't really look forward to any of his fights unless it's situational. Like, I was excited to see him potentially fight Oliveira in Rio, but that didn't happen. Moving on to welterweight, one fighter that I don't want to see leave is Usman. Usman is he's a beast. I mean, his resume speaks for himself. When I saw him fight Buckley in his comeback fight, he looked amazing. I mean, Usman is just, if he's completely healthy, he'd be a menace. I mean, he is a menace coming back with terrible knees, cobblestone knees, as Lucas Tracy says, the cobblestone knees. Put on an amazing showing against Buckley. I would love to see him fight the loser of Bilal Muhammad versus Ian Gary. I'd love to see him fight Shavkat. I want to see what's next for him. Unfortunately, I wasn't watching the UFC whenever he was in his prime, so I didn't get to see his prime or the fights leading up to it. You know, he's on the come up and he's young and hungry. But Kamaru Usman is just an absolutely amazing fighter. It's going to be a sad day when he leaves the sport. He's done so much for the UFC. Leon Edwards, on the other hand, I mean, it's wild that this man beat Kamaru Usman twice. Leon has no real noticeable feats. I mean, he was down in points, down in rounds before he got that head kick win. He got dominated by Bilal, who just got dominated by JDM. Leon's someone that in the next few years, people, they may not necessarily forget that he was a champion, but his resume just won't stand out. He won't be one of those guys that people look back fondly on. Moving on to middleweight, this one might be a little controversial, but one fighter I don't want to see leave is Khamzat. I know he's not the most active fighter, and his last fight against Dricus was a little underwhelming in terms of entertainment. Dominant nonetheless, but fairly underwhelming. He set records for most control time, 21 minutes and 40 seconds. Also for most strikes landed at 529. The strikes weren't the most powerful, but the volume was impressive nonetheless. I think he threw a strike every 2.8 seconds, and that includes the time in between, you know, shooting the takedown and walking away from the cage to the middle. So definitely an impressive record. With that being said, he's one of the most vicious and dominant fighters in the UFC. Every time he fights, I'm excited. We all know he's going to do. He's going to go out there from the start and shoot that takedown, and nobody can stop him. I mean, he comes from that area of the world, you know, Chechnya, Dagestan, Georgia, you know, that Caucasus Mountain line where wrestling is their life, and we all know what's coming, but we're still excited to see it nonetheless, depending on who the fighter is. But whenever Khamzat leaves the UFC, people definitely remember him in the, I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time or he'll be top 5, but he'll definitely be in the conversation as one of the most dominant fighters. RDR, on the other hand, I mean, this guy, he had a little bit of a title run. People were excited to see him fight DDP, maybe Khamzat. Now everyone's jumped on the Hernandez bandwagon, which I understand. I personally want to see Imavov fight Khamzat. I think he deserves a title shot more, but RDR, I mean, giving up for the second time in a fight now, there's no hype for him. I mean, this guy, how can you get excited to see a guy fight when he has given up in the middle of 2 UFC fights. Moving on to light heavyweight, the fighter that I don't want to see leave the most is Yuri Prochazka. Now, I know some people, I assume it's split 50-50, some people would say Yuri, some would say Pereira. The only reason I don't want to see Yuri leave more is because I know that if Pereira leaves, he'll still likely be active in boxing, which I would love to see him fight Usyk. While Yuri, I assume when he leaves the UFC, he'll just be retired. Yuri is an amazing fighter. He's only ever lost in the UFC to Pereira, who is one of the most dominant champs in a long time. Every fight he's been in has ended in a finish, and none have gone to decision. Yuri has got a great personality in and outside the cage. I mean, he's hilarious. The guy, he patented some method where you run with your mouth completely closed and you don't breathe. You just run sprints without breathing. He said in his last fight that, I learned that if you put your hands up, you don't get hit as much. Like, this guy's hilarious. Slightly autistic, so kind of relatable. But one fighter that I don't mind seeing leave would be Ankalaev. Ankalaev is one of those Dagestani kind of clones, but without the grappling. I mean, which is fair considering nobody else in light heavyweight has grappling, but so he doesn't need to know how to defend the takedowns nearly as much as, say, Islam or Merab or Umar. But this guy, I mean, if he did learn how to grapple, he would dominate. He would just be an absolute animal. Nobody in the division has decent wrestling, but like I said, he is a clone a little bit of some of the other guys from that Caucasus region, Dagestan, Chechnya, Georgia. So if he leaves, 2 more will come in by the end of the year. And finally, we've got heavyweight. One fighter that I absolutely don't want to see leave the UFC is Derrick Lewis. Lewis goes in there and he throws bombs, either drops his opponent or gets dropped, but no matter what, it's an entertaining fight. He's entertaining in and out of the octagon. I mean, look at him doing his dance, his snake dance. I think this was after the Pavlovich knockout. The guy goes in there, does this thing every time. He has his iconic, oh, my balls was hot moment. Like, we'd love to see Lewis fight. Obviously, he'll never be in title talks, going forward, but he's someone that when he fights, you always see a highlight of it, even if you don't watch the fight itself. I mean, he holds the record for most knockouts in UFC history, so how could you not want to see Derrick Lewis fight? For someone I'd want to see leave, I'd have to say Tai Tuivasa. Even this pick was a bit of a weak pull. I mean, there's nobody in heavyweight that I actively dislike. I just chose Tuivasa because he's on a decline, on a bad losing streak. I mean, at first when he was doing his shoeies and he was going there doing his thing, we thought he might fight Jones for the belt. He was a fan favorite. Everybody loved him, but now he's washed. I mean, he has no real goal ahead of him, I guess. He's just going there getting a paycheck. So, with that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Shout out to Early Stoppage for the video idea. Check out his channel. He's got a lot of great videos, super active. I'll catch you guys in the next one.